I hope everybody is doing well. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. Mama D coming at you in the house. Yes, I got a little haircut. Yeah. So I hope everybody is well. It's good to see you all. And we're going to be talking about Summer Wells. And oh my gosh, we're going back to 2021, June 15th. So let me share this with you. And this will kind of bring you up to speed if you're not familiar.
This is never-before-seen footage of the home where 5-year-old Summer Wells vanished on her 11-acre property. Dr. Phil even interviewed her parents, who claim that she was abducted, but the locals tell a different story. One that describes a scream that pierced through the summer air.
This looks like a big circle. How do you get back to the highway?
So you go down the driveway to Ben Hill Road and then turn left, and it takes you out to Beach Creek area.
This area of Tennessee is called Beach Creek, and the highway that Dr. Phil was asking about is really just a country road that meanders through this.
So, yes, that was Summer Wells' dad. And Summer Wells was allegedly abducted, according to her parents. What we're about to listen to today, I'm trying still to wrap my head around. It's this information that I wasn't privy to, even though I was head deep. I mean, I was fully in it, and I still didn't realize that there was anything to do with this individual living at the Wells with a little girl that's the same age as Summer. Okay, before we get back into Summer Wells' story, let me know with a 1 if you guys have knowledge of the Summer Wells case, know what's going on, and give me a 2 if you kind of remember it and so forth. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Debbie, Carla, Nikki. Okay, we are live, and so it's not pre-recorded or edited. This is our live. This is how Mama D does it. Hey, Viv. All right. And sending a lot of love out to Rage Not That Rage and a lot of our 1111s that are going through a little bit of health issue right now. Okay, so I see a ton of 1s. Everybody remembers Summer Wells. Excellent. Okay, we have a lot of 2s as well. So Summer Wells was 5 years old. She lived in a little town. It's not even a town. That is so far from the truth. I don't know why I said a little town. It's from Rogersville, Tennessee in the USA. However, it was nowhere near a town. It was a rural area in the mountains. If you're familiar with the Lily and Jack Sullivan case, often you'll hear a comparison between the cases because it's so far out in the middle of nowhere. Their property is, look, this is where they live, like in the middle of nowhere.
This looks like a big circle.
That's their house.
So you go down the driveway and turn left.
That's the dad.
Beach takes you out and turn left, and it takes you out to Beach Creek area.
I want that 1 shot of their house.
Road and then turn left, and it takes you out to Beach Creek area.
Okay, anyway. So the morning that the day before Summer went missing, CPS had come out to the home, and according to Dolly Vision, who was told directly face to face by Summer's parents, that Summer was on the roof of the house. CPS didn't take the child, didn't take any of the children, right? Summer Wells goes missing the next day. They had went out with Grandma and the mother, left the boys, 3 boys, the brothers, older brothers, at home. The oldest one was 12 at the time. They went and filled prescriptions and then went to a place called the Horse Pond, which is literally a drinking hole for horses. And they let the kids swim in that mucky, gross water. There was twisted tea cans crushed and all over there. They allegedly left from there. The mother produced a video of Summer sleeping on milk containers, dressed up in an outfit where it's zipped up to the chin. It's a jacket, all this on a very hot day, laying asleep on 2 gallons, 2 gallons of milk. So the new information that I wasn't privy to was that there was a lady named Marlene that was living with them at the time that also had a 5-year-old daughter that was very good friends with Candace. We were all led to look over here at Allie, God rest her soul, that was fighting with Candace, but then they were friends, but then they weren't, because Allie's son, Hunter, was along for the ride to get the prescriptions, to go to the horse pond, and so forth. Hunter plays a big role in the theory that has come out. Now, here's the new information. And it's not even new, it's just we're reviewing it and still working the case, and those that have covered the Summers Wells case in depth are just like jaw open. Even Dolly Vision, who received the call 2 years ago. So in 2021, when Summer went missing, we never really got the information that there was a woman named Marlene Crawford living with them. Her daughter was called Journey, the name is Journey, is the same age as Summer. You're going to find out that what Dolly and them are sharing with you in the call that this lady called in, she alleges that she is the cousin of Candace, that she's a cousin. The thing is everything she shares actually checks out. And I've discovered why so many people think this Ricky we're going to be talking about is passed away, but he's not. It's because his dad with the same name did pass away. So a lot of people are saying, I swear I saw his eulogy. Did you check the age? Because that was like 62 years old. I'll show you that. I'm going to share with you the call. Dolly has it sped up. I know, Jenny, I never heard of this. I'm all like, gotta cover it. I want to know if this theory does it hold water? So, forgive me. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So this woman that lives there at the time with her daughter, Journey is Summer's best friend. They do everything together. What? Okay. But come to find out, it's true. And there comes this point at 2 a.m. on the day that Summer goes missing. So Summer's reported missing at around 6:30 p.m. She was allegedly missing since around 3 or 4 o'clock when Candace couldn't find her and so forth, and they looked all over, and Don come rushing home, the father who was working away in business a few hours away, and they all meet at a shed off the beaten path from their property, but still on their property. And we're all like, why'd they go there? Why wouldn't they went to the house? A child's missing. Wouldn't you all meet at the house? But instead you meet at this creepy ass property. All right. We never hear about Marlene because she wasn't at the property at the time, allegedly, that Summer went missing. However, at 2 o'clock in the morning, prior to Summer going missing, a guy they called Spider, I'm going to show you his picture. He gets busted at 2 a.m. Allegedly, the call, the anonymous tip that gets him busted originated from 110 Ben Hill Road, which is Summer's address. This is the address that Summer Wells lives at, that her parents live at. But this family member alleges it wasn't Dawn or Candace, the mother, but rather it have originated from Marlena Crawford, who lived there, whose phone pings back to that location. She may have turned in these people. I don't know for sure. I'm just sharing with what we're understanding. Yeah, he looks really scary. So after that happens at 2 o'clock in the morning, here's the news article. Now this all will make a lot more sense as we work through it. So Rogersville, Hawkins County detectives arrested a man on meth trafficking and felony pew-pew charges after a tipster stated a man known as Only Spider would be walking with rugs in Rogersville. HCSO Detective Zachary England states in his report that in response to the tip, he and Detective Scott Stewart and Detective Reba Matthews located Stephen L. Spider Blake, 38 years old, 456 Hidden Valley Road, Rogersville. He only lives a little ways from them, a few miles, walking along Ebbing and Flowing Spring Road near East Main Street on July 15th, the day Summer went missing, shortly after 2 a.m. So a tip originates from where Summer is living that suggests that this man is walking. So let's hear. They do it. They go out and find him. Blake admitted to the detectives that there was marijuana in his backpack, and a baggie containing 13 grams of pot was retrieved by Stuart England, reported when deputies attempted to detain Blake. However, he stated that he had mathematics in his front pants pocket. Stephen then handed officers a small case containing 11 various sized baggies containing a clear crystal-like substance believed to be mathematicals. England said Stephen also raised the front of his shirt, exposing a black and silver semi-automatic pew-pew that was found by officers to have a round in the chamber and 3 more rounds in the magazine. Stephen stated to officers that he carried a handgun for protection. A computer check revealed Blake to be a convicted felon, not only in Maryland, Florida, and also Arkansas. He also had several outstanding felony warrants in each state. He was arraigned on Monday on charges including possession of mathematics with the intent to share, possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and simple possession of marijuana. As of Thursday, Blake was being held at the Hawkins County Jail without bond pending a preliminary hearing set for August 2nd. All right. So here's the deal. Everybody's like, well, the guy was held. He was arrested. He was in jail. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, he ain't on the street to do anything to Summer. Oh, but wait. So this relative alleges that he is a streetwalker. We'll call it that way. In other words, somebody that's on the street passing it and sharing it out. But this goes up even higher because he's not the supplying this stuff. He's basically running it. So the supplier now is out all this money, plus others get raided, which we'll look into in a little bit. But he gets busted with all this, and they're basically saying that this was a retaliation by the big boss that is ticked off because the call originated from Ben Hill Road where Summer lives. And so they suspected it was Marlena. And the repercussion was to go snag her most important thing, which would be her daughter, Journey. But allegedly, they grabbed the wrong child. And when they had no intent, allegedly, they don't suspect that they had allegedly, the family doesn't, that they were going to harm her or anything like that. They were going to be like, you pay this debt and you get your kid back. You pay for what we lost and you can have your kid back. But everything blew up with Summer and it became worldwide so quickly that everybody in the family fears that Summer became a liability to them, and they removed the liability. So the thing is, let me go over to here and let's do this. So the girl, the woman, the cousin, whatever you want to call her, family member, she had called into Dolly Vision long time ago, like a couple years ago. So Dolly replayed it last night because it's been surfacing all over the internet. Everybody's checking it out, and we're finding out that it all checks out. Now hold on a minute. There's a guy named Ricky that is Marlena's brother. So the woman that had Journey, that is living at the wells, has a brother named Ricky that is actually working for these bad people, allegedly. People are like, Ricky was killed. Ricky is dead. Well, come to find out, Ricky's all fine. It's Ricky D. Crawford. Let me show you. Here, he is 63 years old. He's the one that passed on March 9th, 2022 at his home. And from my understanding, prove me wrong, I don't know for sure, just everything that I'm seeing, that this is a relative of Ricky Crawford. A direct relative. So that could be why they're saying, I'm looking to see if, yeah, see here, 2 sons, Lonnie Dykes and Ricky Crawford Jr. And Ricky Crawford Jr. is allegedly Marlena Crawford's brother. So this would be their dad. Let me see. Yeah, Marlena Crawford. Look, I didn't even read this all the way. Right there. Ricky is survived by his wife of 41 years, Liz Crawford, 2 daughters, Frances Dykes and Marlena Crawford. So her brother, Ricky Crawford Jr., is alive and well, and the caller does have that part incorrect. So let's go ahead and get into what this caller says. Now, I will tell you, it's way sped up, like super, super fast. Hey, question everything, how are you? Aw, thank you, Prime Candy. Everybody show your appreciation. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Okay, that's right. That's right, Kimberly. That's Marlena's dad. And he indeed did pass away. All right, so that's one part solved, but let's go ahead and play this out.
On the internet in the last couple days. Right. All right, let's do it. This video is allegedly Candace Wells' cousin calling into my show 2 years ago. And,
over 2 years.
And I kind of just laughed.
Over 2 years ago.
And I really never even checked into what she was saying until now. And then when I started checking into what she was saying, everything she said checked out for the most part. And we'll get into that and the proof of that in just a minute. And there is something going on here with organized crime. And who is involved in that organized crime, we're going to discuss.
Daughter had ran away from foster care for a little bit, but she did. It wasn't nothing to do with Candace, right?
No, it had nothing to do with Candace.
Yeah, okay.
We were still, as a family, looking for her, and it had nothing to do with it. And before that, our cousin Rose went missing, and then Candace's older daughter went missing.
Okay, wait, you keep saying we. Are you kin to the Wells?
I am.
Okay, who are you first? We know who we're talking to.
I'm her cousin.
Is your name just cousin? Do you got a name?
Well, we'll go with cuz.
Cuz, all right, cuz.
Yeah, all right, cuz.
You on that bullshit?
No, it's all been turned into the
That's
TBI.
that bullshit.
No, I'm not talking bullshit. No,
okay.
It's all been turned into TBI. No. So we've had people go missing before on that side of the family where we've gone up in arms looking for children, blah, 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 and all of a sudden Summer goes missing. You're like, what the hell's going on over here? You know, you got 2 kids missing from the same mom.
Okay, wait a minute. We've got 2 kids missing from the same mom? So I don't understand if this cousin knows something we don't. Maybe, because she's saying that Candace's other daughter, you got to keep in mind, Candace has like 8 children and she doesn't have custody of none of them. So it's possible that her older daughter went missing at some point, because this caller that's saying she's the cousin, the family member, is alleging that this is not the first time that Candace has a missing daughter where everybody's freaking out and looking for a kid. That Summer is the second daughter of Candace to go missing. And they're saying, what's going on with this part of our family? Audrey likes the new dude. Thank you, lovely.
But the word on the street, because we still have Ken there, the word on the street, this Summer was not the intended target there. This has nothing to do with them.
So somebody wanted to kidnap somebody, but they didn't want to kidnap Summer. But when they got there...
No, let me lay it down for you. Okay. You can investigate this, too. You can, as I speak...
Okay, I'm going to look up, see if they have a cousin named Cuz. First, that's going to be
listen.
First step.
Look up a dude named Spider, okay?
All right.
He was arrested at 2 o'clock in the morning the day Summer went missing.
Okay.
And he was in a drug deal, okay? He was arrested a few miles down from their house, right in Rogersville, Tennessee.
That is true.
3 people from Virginia. They were coming out, okay? And somebody called him an anonymous tip, and he was busted.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't the Wells that called him in, but the people they were hanging out with called him in. You can look this up. His name's Steven, and he goes by Spider. June 15th. You look this up. I'm telling you the truth. They bust Spider.
Okay, his name is Steven, though.
No, we were going to
And he was arrested June 15th.
and then stop.
Of last
At
year.
2 o'clock in the morning. No.
2 years ago.
2021. The day Summer went missing. I'm telling
Okay.
you. Listen to me. I'm telling you the truth. Here, this is just like
Okay.
crazy.
This person is 1,000% correct because I just showed you. Let me go back over. I just showed you. This dude is indeed, she's right. He lives just down the road. Marlene does live with Dawn and Candace and has a daughter named Journey that's been staying there, that's Summer's best friend. She knows all of that at this time, and none of the rest of us do. So that's got my attention because it all checks out. So she's saying this dude got busted because of a tip that came in from Dawn and Candace's property address. But that it wasn't Dawn and Candace, it was the one that was living with them, which would be Marlena. So then, because this guy got busted, the organization that he's working for decided to retaliate and collect some collateral. You feel me? And that was the same day, and I'll show you right here, July 15th, shortly after 2 a.m. So far, this caller is straight on the money, right on the point, right? So let me go ahead and we'll continue.
Listening to us. He was busted. He was meeting people from Virginia, okay? A carload of 3 people.
Okay. This guy was meeting 3 people from Virginia that were in this organized crime. So it ended up costing them a lot more. But now here's the coinky-dink weird thing I'm going to show you. Let me go back to the website and let's switch over. I was able to find this through Dolly Vision. 4 arrested after large quantity of mathematics, numerous pew-pews seized from Churchill residents. Here are the 4 people from Virginia that the woman is actually talking about. Now here's the thing. Let's go down here. Where does it give the date? Let me scroll back up. This wouldn't have been, these people aren't arrested until April 13th of 2023. Like a year and almost 2 years later. So I'm not quite sure how that plays into her scenario, but it proves right here, Ricky Dale Crawford, 39, and Celeste Ann Taylor, 39, same address, were both charged with possession of mathematics and possession of and 2 grams of mathematics and 3 pieces of an orange tablet believed to be also allegedly found in their bedroom. If you look at the people they're with, we have Richmond, 42, who was charged with sale and delivery of mathematics while maintaining the dwelling where narcotics were being sold after police allegedly located 3.13 grams of mathematics in his bedroom, digital scale baggies, PIPEs, and other, stuff. So as we go through this, there's this Wallen. He gets charged with this and possession of that and possession of that and marijuana and a pew during a felony, possession of this. And then it goes on talking about at the man's house, he had a 12 gauge, three 12 gauges, a Martin 22 semi auto, a Mossberg 22, a Winchester 22, a 45 caliber, a 9mm, a 23.33 of assorted ammo. They also got in currency, 9.5 pills, marijuana, 2 fents that are patches, several baggies containing 60 grams of mathematics, and digital scales baggie and you know what I'm saying. So they are tied. This crime circuit here that doesn't get busted for 2 years are definitely running with this dude. Okay? So that's what she's talking about when we go back. And let's hit Dolly's one more time. And you listen to the rest. I hope this is making some sense.
An anonymous tip called in Spider had drugs on him. They busted him that morning. They were pissed off because it was intercepted, okay? And it came back to 110 Ben Hill Road, but it was not the Wells who called it in.
Agreed, Jackie.
And all of a sudden, Ricky gets killed the next day.
No, he didn't.
Which dude is Ricky?
Ricky's Marlena's brother.
Marlena is the one that's living in the homeless camp or whatever, right?
No, I don't know where the fuck the bitch is now. I'd like to know, but I don't know because she wouldn't be there. No, she's all, it comes down to the Crawfords. I'm telling you right now, listen to me. The Crawfords were the intended target. It was not the Wells. And our hearts and souls, we believe, with every fiber.
Yeah, but did they have a daughter?
Journey. Her name's Journey.
And she is the exact same age. In other words, meaning that Candace and Marlena were pregnant together and were together. They are literally the same age.
Okay.
They sure did.
So these people that busted on Spider, that you saying this is a retaliation, and some people have
Well, that's
showed.
exactly what I'm saying. And the people.
Now, I want you to think about this. You're going to find out that this woman alleges exactly what we all suspected. Remember how Grandis was saying how she took a nap after the horse pond? Well, this individual is alleging that Candace actually left Summer in the house and told the boys to watch her, just like Candace, the mother, says, boys, keep an eye on your sister, right? But the story that this family member, alleged family member, is alleging, and might I tell you that there has been some strong sources, I say strong because they've always been right, stating that Candace took Hunter's virginity. And that actually after the horse pond, behind Donnie, the dad's back, she brought home that young man to her home, and they were doing the hanky-panky while Grandis was napping. And then Candace left Summer alone with the brothers to take Hunter home. Which, if you know the story, that makes perfect sense. During her absence, the boys have been known to say that Summer walked outside to go play. You hear Jody Sue, the neighbor, completely go into detail about her and her children hearing a female scream. If Summer was playing outside, these are people that supply rugs, are going to know all about that little house up on the hill, especially if Marlena's brother is right in their pocket. So could Summer have been playing and one of them went up there and snagged her and took her down that dog trail that Dawn said the dogs hit on, right to the road where allegedly the dogs drop her scent. As a retaliation and collateral for Spider getting busted. Well, I wasn't ready to show my new haircut. It was a big jump. My hair was all the way down to my, like, where my britches start, right? My waistband. And so to cut it off was a big, I had to get used to it. I know, Laura, it's absolutely mind-blowing. That's why I'm like, is this true? Because everything this woman's telling us is legitimately trackable, traceable. It makes sense. And it's all right there for us to see. And yet she said she was trying to tell TBI, she was trying to tell, Rogersville police, she was trying to tell everybody. And just like this happened, Dolly didn't take her serious at that time either, because we were so bombarded with information and a different suspect every day. And it was like we couldn't investigate all the thousands of people that people suspected. And it makes me really wonder, like I was thinking about some things that would make sense, because Candace and Dawn, okay, Donnie says the first thing he did when the police let him is go question the rug party down the road, because he thought they had taken his daughter. He knew it. That fits right in with this. When they were on the Phil show, and all of a sudden they're talking about cornbread mafia. Now, I'm not saying this is cornbread mafia, but that's organized crime that might take a kid. Now, there's even more. There's even more. The individuals that this woman's talking about have allegedly already been doing this kind of crap with children in the past. So why wouldn't they have been some of the first people investigated? I don't know. Think of what Don has said when he's been asked, where is Summer? In the times that he doesn't say that she's passed on and you'll see her in the resurrection, right? He says, he breaks down. And in one of his statements, and he's all runk, right? He's all like, because he's been knocking him back. But sometimes that's like a truth serum. And he says she's probably, I can tell you right now, she's in some dirty little motel and God knows what's happening to her. And he says with some rug dealers. So this has me like wondering what's going on. So what I did, we'll get back into what this lady says, but I went to Marlene Crawford's Facebook. Now, this is ended. She quit posting on 2016. She didn't post after that. This is a dead in the water Facebook, very, very old. But I want you to look at something here. Right here, her intro. This is what it said back then in 2016. I can be a bitch at times, and you don't want to F with my family, because I will come after you. It legit says this, and you can see her picture here. And this is her dad that passed away, and Ricky Crawford Jr. is her brother, and she was living at the Wells. And it's like, what? What? We have been doing all this research, right? I just Googled Summer. I mean, look, right? Goes on for days. And it takes 4 years for me and you to find out that there is a woman named Marlena that is living there with her daughter Journey, and that her brother is connected to organized crime. What are you guys feeling? Bella Nova says, hello everyone, but there was a few misinformation. Marlena's brother is still alive. I just shared that. The spider guy wasn't arrested the night Summer went missing. Yes, I just proved that he was. He was arrested at 2 a.m. on the morning that before Summer went missing. I just proved it right here. Yep, July 15th, shortly after 2 a.m., he was arrested. So, Bella, you need to get your story straight too. But, yeah, I just proved that. Right here, right here. July 15th, shortly after 2 a.m., the cops busted Ricky. So, I'm glad you enjoyed Dolly's live. I know, Carla. I'm like, what? What the heck is going on here? I asked who the dark-haired lady with the other girl, right? I think she was kidnapped and sold, or worse yet. Courtster, hello, lovely. I'm glad you made it home. Thank you for taking care of Rach. Oh, okay, you're right, Carla. It's been 2.5 years, well, 4 years. I guess it was June 15th. So, okay, he wasn't busted the same. He was busted a month later. So does that bust the theory? I mean, we do know that Marlena was living there, and she's got direct connections to all this. But yeah, you're right. It does say July, and Summer was abducted June 15th. That was a great catch, Carla. Great catch. Because I wasn't. Because like I said, it's been so long since I covered the Summer Wells case. Yeah, that does say July. You guys are right. My apologies to Bella Nova. Thank you, lovely. No, Bella, my apologies to you. I corrected you. And I shouldn't have. You were right. Everything else seems to check out. But here's the thing. Now we know where Dawn Wells probably went to, just down the road, because we always wondered who these rug people were that he thought had his daughter, that he accused of having his daughter. And we know that area, let me put it this way. If you've got major houses, all neighbors that are all convicted of hardcore rug running, and that's who the neighbors are, like 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. So you got Fred Hill, boom, right? You got Jody Sue and Andy, boom, right? Then you got these rug dealers right here, boom. You're not gonna have anybody else living on that strip of the woods that is all like, oh, we have a lovely $1 million home and we're upstanding and all this. And no. Because you're not going to live in the squalor around all the drug dealers if you're not somehow involved in that situation. You know what I'm saying? And we know Dawn went on a, 24-hour spree of spending $4,000 to prove to the police, which this makes no sense, that he had money, and so it had nothing to do with him owing a drug debt to these people. So he went and did it with, ladies of the night in a motel and a lot of mathematics that night, or crack the whip rugs. No. There was something here. Oh, thank you, Courtster. You love the hair. Probably looks better without headphones. So when I look at this, for me personally, I'm like, okay, now I can understand how somebody could have abducted your kids. It would have helped if you would have been straightforward and honest in the first place. I mean, if you were worried about the boys, CPS had them. So who were you worried? Were you worried for yourself, perhaps? Perhaps so. So you put yourself before your own daughter. Exactly. Trap houses on the hill. Thank you, Tina girl. Thank you. I'm just saying. You know, like the way I disguise my words. You know what? It's hard to come up with words that are, you know, rated PG for YouTube. Cindy Clark, who's that pretty lady on the screen? Wow, you're beautiful. Thank you. Hi, podcast queen. How are you? Lovely. Good to see you. So, thank you, Serena. You look radiant to me. I love you guys. Prime, good to see you. How do you know if I'm 57? I might be 58. So, yeah, I wanted to share this with you. I wanted to get your opinion. I want to pull some cards, you guys. I want to see if that's what the story is. Because every read I ever did of summer, I got trafficking. I got rug dealers. Yep. I hate to say it, but this scenario that's finally coming out can explain a lot of the cards I pulled. So I'm going to be jumping over to Crime Story Mama, where we're going to pull some cards. I invite you to join me if you'd like to. It's free to you. Journey was supposed to stay the night, and Grandis took her home. Summer was packing. She was packing Summer a bag because she was going to Ohio. I don't know about that. I never heard about going to Ohio. This is just wild. Let's get busy. Let's get busy. Yes, I do readings, indeed. On a different channel. That way we don't offend anybody that doesn't want to do the card thing. That's fine. That's fine. But we're going to jump over there. It's going to be about 20 minutes. Yes. Tina Girl, I believe Summer was a rug debt. I believe there was collateral taken. And yes, they had a party at some point. We know that. And the fact that it's, I won't say fact, erase that. The alleged theory that's being more and more understood that Candace was indeed with Hunter in that way, who was a minor. Lord have mercy, and that she was taking Hunter home. It explains why Jody Sue saw the car leave and then come racing back in much later. It explains so much. And I bet you Jody Sue did hear Summer scream now. I really believe that. And these rug dealers would not be strangers to that property. They would know that property. So it makes sense. It makes sense. I know, right? Sick people. Debbie says the locals here have always thought she was sold. I agree now. And it just validates 100 readings I did. It was like when I heard all this, I'm like, oh my golly, everything I did. Like, you can go back and watch my summer playlist on this channel. And that is 3 years old, 2 years old. I knew none of this. I knew none of it. And you're going to be like, oh my golly. So I can't wait to do the new reading to understand it all, to see, is the Summer Wells case basically solved? You know what I'm saying? Makes me wonder. Math does destroy. Yes, we're always, thank you very much for showing up for Summer, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, are you guys ready to do this? Now, if you are into pulling cards, you want your own true crime deck, I share $3 of every deck I sell with the National Center for Missing Exploited Children. It is my own deck, and I have it available at 1111decks.com. DECKS. 1111decks. So make sure and buy yourself a deck if that's what you would like. Maybe you want to give it as a gift. I have to share a cute little story. So a friend of ours, an 1111er, got their deck, and they were really happy with it. And then one day they lost their mother's or their grandmother, I think it was grandmother's ring. And they were frantic, couldn't find it, and they got desperate. They had done this, and so forth, been out of the house and to the store and to the garden and all this. The deck showed them where the ring was. I kid you not. Like, told them the entrance, the key, the plants in the garden, all of it. All of it. They went and looked on a whim, and that was exactly, they had to open the bag because it said so. So they open the bag, they go through all the trash, and right there was the ring. So you just never know how well the deck will work, and if it helps you find your grandmother's ring, right? But I thought that was amazing, and I was so I was appreciative to know that the deck helped in that way. I had never thought of it that way before. So if I lose something, I'm going to use my deck. That is so cool, Tina. The deck told them, right, Joyful, good to see you. Question everything. I appreciate you too, my lovelies. Are you ready to jump over? I'm ready to jump over. All right, there'll be 15 minutes before we start. Gives me time to flip all the tech over, get my desk cleared off, get the cards on the table, and I will meet you there. See you in a bit. Love you.